Brian Nickel, and this is another episode of a Bootstrap Real Estate Investor, and I got myself some shadows. I didn't want to get my lights out for this one, but crazy little side note here. I actually have to write this backwards. Like, check this out. This is my name. That's how I write my name, Ryan. You can see it's backwards. So I am writing this backwards so you can read it. I wrote this backwards. It's totally crazy. I'm like a modern day Leonardo da Vinci. Yep, it's that good. So anyway, I want to talk to you about phases of foreclosure and why it's so important to understand how the foreclosure process works. What's up, Mike? This is going to be specifically for California only. Every state is a little bit different, but this gives you the gist of it. So there are several different phases of the foreclosure process, and we'll call this one phase 1, and I'll call this one phase 2, phase 3, and then that's just going to be phase, oh crap, that's backwards. That's not how you do 4, and that's not how you do 3, that's not how you do 2, that's not how you do 1, so we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that look right? Yeah, okay. So anyway, so yeah, this truly is backwards. So here's the deal with the phases of foreclosure. So phase 1 is, we'll call this day 1. So day 1, you miss a payment. Phase 2 is 90 days late. This is 180 days. And then this would be, oh crap, I'm doing it again. Nope, still wrong. 201 days. So these are the different phases here. And let me go ahead and bolden this one up a little bit. So I'm a perfectionist, deal with it. 201. So this is why this is important. So when someone is in day 1, in phase 1 here, they've missed their payment. They have this period of time here where they are trying to get caught up with the lender. And they got 90 days. If they don't do that in 90 days, then the lender can go ahead and file what is called an backwards again. No, that was right. Oh my gosh. So, okay, so they can file an NOD, a notice of default. So, notice of default is filed at the 90-day mark. If they do not cure that debt, then it goes for, so that's phase 2. You will not be able to find these people until they are in the notice of default stage, unless they reach out to you. Other than that, it's not public record. So once it goes to public record, they're already 90 days behind, and usually at this point they're in denial. They are not, they're just putting their head in the sand. They're like, I'll work it out, don't worry about it, I have plenty of time. When that doesn't happen, then they go to phase 3. So phase 3 is what we would call a NOS, notice of sale. So at a notice of sale, they now have received, and this is 90 days apart, so now that they've been a total of 6 months behind on payments. Notice of sale says, hey, guess what? We are going to take this property. We are going to go ahead and buy this house. Or excuse me, we're going to take this property through the process, which is called foreclosure. And with the foreclosure, the bank's going to take it. And so at this point now, they are a little bit more motivated because what they were doing before wasn't working, and they have to do something has to change for them. At this point, they then have 21 days. So after the notice of sale has been recorded, there is 21 days that the lender has before they can actually have the auction. So if this is say notice of sale is is filed on March 1st, March 21st is when that house will go ahead and go to auction. It's typically going to be on a Tuesday, so it's going to be on a Tuesday, whenever that is, and that's what happens. So, and they can't do it any sooner than the 21 days. Typically, what will happen is they have 7-day increments, so they will go ahead and nope, that's backwards. They will 7 days. Oh my goodness. 7 days. 7 days. No, is that a normal E? I can't tell. That's a normal E, isn't it? Yep, that's a normal E. I'm all jacked up in the brain right now. Sale. So they will publish, bam, or notify, bam, and it's gone to auction. Now, for me, when I'm looking for property, I will look for property. Obviously, this area right here, I'm not going to know about it until they contact me. At 90 days, right here, everybody and their brother is going after these notice of defaults because it's public record. So everyone is slamming them. Really, there's no motivation here. It just barely happened, like, whatever, I'll get this thing worked out. I got something coming. I got a brother that's going to loan me some money, or I'm going to get a raise, or I'm working at a loan modification or something like that. Now, when this other phase goes through here, when we have stuff dropping all over the place, when we get into this phase, this is where I actually focus a lot of my time and my energy, because now what they were doing wasn't working. And yeah, other investors are going to be going after this as well. But for me, here's what I'm thinking. And this is what my motivation is and why I go after these particular these notice of sales. Because whatever they tried here, they had 3 months to make it work and it didn't work. Because of that, they're a little bit more motivated because now they got a notice of sale. Hey, guess what? I now have 3 weeks before my house goes up to auction on the auction block, and I'm going to lose my property. So with this notice of sale, they're a little bit more motivated. Maybe reality has set in. And so what I'm looking for still, I'm not looking for someone that's in the house. I'm looking for vacant properties that have a notice of sale, that they're going to auction. Because if there's a vacant property, they've washed their hands and they've given it back. They say, you know what, I'm done here. And they're moving on down the road. So I'm trying to get to them prior to the banks actually taking it from them. And that's what I'm looking for, is this is my sweet spot right here. I want to get to them at this point. So everything I'm doing right now is my number one priority is to find notice of sales that have already abandoned the property. They've already walked away from it. That's my number one priority, is to go get these guys. Now, if I've exhausted my leads in my local market for notice of sales that are vacant, I'm then going to roll on over to my notice of defaults, and I'm going to look for the ones that are vacant. So this is why it's extremely important to understand the phases of a foreclosure, because if you don't know this phase and you're going after these people, I wouldn't say you're wasting your time. You could be planting some good seeds, but you're not going to find anyone that's really, really motivated to walk away at those first 90 days. Now, it does happen. I have actually picked up a property from someone that actually... take that back. We did not pick up the property. We got in a contract, and they were in this phase, but they talked to a family member, and the family member goes, why are you going to do that? Why don't you try to, write it out? So I'm still in connection with the person, and we still are in conversation, but we are now in this phase here. They already got the notice of default, but they haven't received their notice of sale yet. So when I know when I'm talking to somebody, if they're phase 2, I'll entertain the conversation, but they're not real motivated until I hit phase 3 with them. And once they're into phase 3, we're off to the races, because now I know that reality has set in and they will lose their property and walk away with nothing. If I can prevent that and get them a little bit of cash in their pocket or do something else, that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, know where you're at in the process and go after what makes the most sense for you. What's up, Walter? But for me and my house, we're going after this sweet spot right here, because that's where the most money is made, because there's motivation and there's opportunity to go ahead and profit on these deals. So anyway, if you have any questions about this, go ahead and shoot me a message. And this is actually why this came about, because someone shot me a message asking me, hey, How do I know where should I spend the most of my my effort? Should I go after notice of defaults or notice of sales, and why? And that's why I shot this video. So if you have any questions, you want to learn anything, or you want me to expound something in greater detail, shoot me a message and I'll make sure it's one of these daily videos. All right, guys, take it easy.